Hello and welcome back to Transport Fever 2, the UK modded series. Thank you very much for joining me in today's video. And in the last video I finished off the marshalling yard down to the south. This is not that marshalling yard, but the reason I'm starting this particular video here is because this marshalling yard, as well as the other one, is going to be part of the focus of today's video. At the end of the last video, I did say that I had a few other goods things that I need to do. And one of them is actually getting large goods trains going across the map. Now, we have them going from this central marshalling yard over to the one near West Mersey. I have coal coming from here going there. I also have bricks or construction material coming from here going over there, and I think some goods, but I'm not entirely certain. That is something I need to check in today's video. However, there is nothing going south yet, so there are freight trains, goods trains that are pottering about down south. All of them are empty because there is no industry, there is nothing being produced down south yet, and also there is nothing going there to be transported to the various different cities. And that is where this is going to change. Going off screen on the left hand side is the train going to the so-called Weetabix factory. It's just a food factory that I've just called the Weetabix factory for the sake of it. I'm going to be working on getting trains going out from there, bypassing this marshalling yard and going directly south. I also need to get coal trains going from here, long coal trains going from here directly south. I also need to get goods trains. I say goods. They call them goods. I'm going to say they're packaged goods or something like that. Some sort of consumable good. I'm not entirely certain what it would be, but it's the box logo in Transport Fever 2. So I need a train of that going down south. I also need a train that can carry construction material going down south. So that would be well, I say the coal is not really an end resource, but because we have gasworks everywhere, I can use that as those gasworks can convert it to fuel. So I have 4 of the 6 required items going down south. Then all that will be left is to figure out how to get tools there and machines. Now, the tools or machines, one or the other. I have the factory set up in Shepshed. I just need to figure out how to get the resources to it, and then that just leaves the remaining one. So make sure you stay tuned. Let's get started. You can see just how busy this part of the map actually is, with how many trains are on screen right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I see 7 on screen without actually looking too hard for additional ones, but I see 7 trains on screen in this single frame. I'm sure there are probably a couple more that I'm missing, but anyway, make sure you stay tuned. Let's get started and let's get some. Oh yeah, there was 8, and let's get some goods or freight, whatever you want to call it. Freight in this, goods just as a general term, goods going down south so that the rest of those towns, and therefore every single town on the map, has at least one type of cargo. That's the word we use. One type of cargo going to it. Okay, so I think step 1 I've already done off camera, and that was creating a route going from here. So if I just go for that and that, there it is, Stratford Coal. This one is going from, I've also realised that I didn't call these MYs, I call these marshalling, so I'm going to change this to marshalling as I go along. So comes in from here, we'll pick up a whole bunch of coal, we'll travel down this entire route. This is where it is going to be interesting. Not that way, it actually goes this way. Although I wonder if I could get it to go. What? No, if I had it going that way on a dedicated freight route, I could bypass a lot of the passenger route. See, the problem is that I think all of this is going to start slowing things down. So I'm going to have to start looking for passing loops and things like that, and then going along here and up into here. So I've already created that, the first route. Also, from feedback, it is wise to say that they would not generally make a fancy bridge here. Also, just looking at this, perhaps I should make this dip down a bit and then climb back up. Yes, it is interesting that it is flat whilst this dips and comes up, but it does sort of ruin the aesthetic a bit. And in fact, it doesn't look like it is completely flat there. So I was thinking maybe I can just get it to... I'm going to try this. I'm just going to get it to dip down. So let's just have it dip down just a meter here. And dip down, let's say another, let's say 2 meters there. Okay, and then come back up for that spot. Yes. So let's grab that and dip down 2 meters. Dip down 1 meter. What? Thought I had a marker on it. Dip down 1 meter. There we go. So that way it isn't quite as high up. And then come back up for... I suppose I guess it's come back up for this bit, but then I've got the signal I need to worry about. So I'm just going to select from... Let's select from this signal in the opposite direction, please. Opposite direction, there we go. To here. Opposite direction. Yep, and we'll smooth that out. Forget checking for collision and limits, just do it. That is a little better. And then from opposite direction, there we go. Here to here. Have it smoothly work its way back up. And in fact, that does sort of work. Try and do the same for this. So where was it from? It was from here, opposite direction. Oh no, right direction. To... Where's the bottom of this? Here. Opposite direction, there we go. What? How has it done that? Okay, now I have an easier option here. Just pause it. Much easier option. Just do that. And what speed was this? 60 or 40? I cannot remember. 60. So I'll just grab this at 60. And connect that up the entire way. Job done. There we go. That looks much better. And now how does it look from here? Not quite as imposing. That is what I was going for. So it just looked, I think it just looked a little too high just here. It's just moving it down a couple of meters. Should be fine for the railways as well. The trains should not have an issue. Everything still runs perfect. Okay, so we can continue on with that. I suppose I need to now look for passing loops. I am going to try to create that village. I have read the feedback and the response for for this village. Again, it's all right. I'm still not very keen on it, but I suppose it's okay. So I'm going to try and create something very similar to this in one. Where's the other one? Two. I think there is a. I think there's supposed to be. There it is. Three. Probably another, maybe 4 or 5 places. I will have to do that. Should also, what I'm going to do is set this to the date of release, which should be, I believe, the 6th, and let's go to 1913. There we go. Apparently there's a ship available. Some more London, Brighton and South Coast railways. Plenty of them. Oh, some Great Westerns are available. That is good. And some new locomotives. Some new carriages. That is interesting. That is very, very interesting. Okay. I think I'm going to have to start looking at that sort of stuff as well. Ooh, the blue is very nice. I might need to do that on a few. Get blue engines or something like that, and that deep blue. That looks like something that would go well with the green engine, so we'll have to look into that. The only thing about, I should just point out, the only reason I'm taking my time and not really focusing on these villages, even though as a really great example, train just running through a village like that, it is nice, but unfortunately I have so many other things that need to be done before this series ends, and that is not part of the priority. Right, what was I doing? Oh yes, trying to get passing loops created. So locations for passing loops. Now I do have, unfortunately, I have gone ahead and put all these lovely trees and all these fences and everything all the way along, which is kind of annoying. So that is my own fault. I could continue this as a 4-track and try. What is going on here? Have you lot got yourself tied up and stuck like that? This looks like a good spot for a passing loop. Not going into this wall, but just outside of this wall. So the trains, I think, freight trains would have to wait behind passenger traffic. They would go through here, whilst all the other trains would end up on here. The goods trains would continue along. Let's see what we can make of this. Always pause, always pause. Okay, let's see. Minimum bridge height can go down. Drag it all the way across. What do we get? The bridge stays valid. Okay, as a test, all the way across to here. Still valid. That's a working bridge. Okay, and then what kind of distance can we put on this? Put a good 800 yards here. This would be very good for making sure express trains can continue through without any issue. Okay, so I'm going to place, this is what I'm going to do. We're going to work out what speed I can get this up to. There's the 60. So let's do 150 yards. Make sure we stay at 60. 150 yards, that is going to be slightly more because of the outside radius of the turn. 152 yards at 60. And then what will it give me? That seems good enough for me. So there is one passing loop that we can use to ensure that passenger trains do not get stuck behind slow freight trains. Now, how am I going to do this bit? I need it to somehow... I need it to not do that. Okay, so I know it's going to start screaming at me, but I'm going to do this first. Surprisingly, it isn't screaming at me. Oh dear. That was a bit slow. And then that seems doable. That seems reasonable. Okay, looking at the routes now. So it wants to keep that out there, but then this is where I could do something quite clever. So if I were to have this junction here as expected, try and get to 60. There we go, 60 miles per hour. So as it were, high speed junction, 60 miles per hour, and have a signal here. Should I put one of those overhead gantries with two? Well, I suppose it doesn't really need it. It's just a single signal that goes there. The signal on this side is not going to change, and then we have the high-speed train going through there. You're going to notice that is going to, as expected, peel in. However, I'm then going to put a secondary signal right here, and another signal right here. So these are going to be for the freight, and that will enable, right, hang on, what is the total length of this? This is important. What total length do I have? $900 yards. I'm just trying to think, can I fit two trains in here? The answer is no. The answer is I cannot fit two trains in here. Not two full-size trains anyway. What if I were to fit... If a shorter train was coming through, that was, say, 400 yards, that could fit through. So how would I do this? The first one would need to be a 500 yards in to make sure, but then if it got stuck, it would block this signal. No. This is what I'm going to do. This is going to remain as it is. So that goes there. That stays there. Then we've got signals here, which is definitely far enough away. Go into the tunnel, which is obviously going to be a bit of an issue. And then we've got this bit where we can we can figure something out. Yes, I'm sure I can figure something out there. That remains... Where does that go from 4-track to 2-track? There, perhaps... What if I kept that as a 4-track tunnel the entire way through? Could be interesting. Could definitely be interesting. And then you've got the 2-track bridge, which you just have to deal with. Okay, so passing loop 1 has been completed. Where is it? Out here. And I need to ensure that this goes past that, and on the way back it goes past this. And they should all do, every route should do the exact same. So whether it's coal, goods, brick, construction material, whatever it is, it should do exactly this. So that is one section where it passes. This bit is a bit difficult to get it passing. I honestly think that a lot of this may now need to be 4-track. I'm just looking at, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 trains currently, or 4 routes. There is going to be a 5th and a 6th. And if we go back before Downham Market and we come up to here, that's a lot. This is a very, very busy section just because that is where the marshalling yard is, and we've got all of this happening. So this section is the congestion section that's going to need some work on it. But before I do that, I'm going to work on this. So we've got the first train. Perhaps I should get it going now, just to see what happens. So I think I created it. Where's the depot? Yes, I have. I've made the train. It's ready to go. And I'm just going to pop it in on Stratford Coal. I'm not sure how it is supposed to reach it, but there we go. I think it's going to go to Stratford first as an empty train. Which is probably a good idea. And in all honesty, I think I'm going to need 2 of these. But this is the new train. As you can see, it's running a London Brighton South Coast Railway. And it has the number 91. Who's going where? Who's doing what? What was that noise coming from? No idea. It's got loads of the London Brighton South Coast Railway cars as well. I thought I might as well just try and get it to have all of them. Just a single train that does this. After all, it is going south. It's not going to the south coast, but it is going south. So I have an idea as to how I'm going to get this working. Still going. It is a 363-yard train, which is still only maybe 50% of. That's quite a good screenshot. It's just looking at how that looks with that going around the bend with the gasometer in the distance. You know what I'm going to do? I'm actually going to delete this. So I don't like how that's panning out there. That's even better. Let's see if I can get a really good angle on this. How does that look? Actually pretty decent, though. I think the 35mm was a better option. Yes, the 35mm option works somewhat better. Houses, train, back of train, gasometer, factory. Yes, this is quite good. There we are. And it just keeps going. Anyway, what I need to do is I need to get this train out of this station. So I need to get it out here. Then I need to get it turned around. That is what I need to have it doing. Nothing yet for Stratford Coal, which is fine. I'm sure it will build in time, but as you can see, West Mersey Bricks, which I believe is this train, it has a lot, and West Mersey Coal has a lot. So, in fact, I do need to check something. It's going here. This doesn't actually connect to anything, does it? No. That is why. So we've got a problem here. I need to have it as only connect. There we go. Now that demand is about to shoot through the roof. Just watch it. Ooh, 385 going back. Great. Okay, I'm going to watch that for a moment. I'm going to keep that pinned, so I know what I'm doing, and then in the meantime I need to figure this little bit out. Now this is where, unfortunately, with erasing things, I might start losing some of these trees, because what I now need to do is I need to erase this tiny bit here, and I need to erase this section. How far do I need to erase? Probably the whole thing. Yes, I think I need to erase. Look at how busy this single... Look how busy this single marshalling yard is. I need a better machine. I really do need a better machine. And thumbnails. I need thumbnails. Oh, okay, smoke from something else. That just looks really quite good. There we go. Okay, back to what I was doing. No, not that. You stay there. I'm continuing the... How far will I need to delete? Perhaps only that much. Yes, maybe only that much. Coal. Still not building up for Stratford Coal. Interesting. Would have expected it to build up, and you are waiting for a free path. Do you even fit in that gap? You do. Just. Okay, note, cannot have trains longer than 300 and no longer than 400 yards with this current setup. Fine. Why is Stratford Coal not? I'm concerned that isn't doing anything. Very concerned. Anyway, now that I have cut this back, I can start looking at... This is probably going to be a... what speed is it? 40 and 50, or apparently I'm going to make this a 20 mile per hour corner. And the curve is going to have to go something along the lines of this. Ah, but then that train is not going to... Well, it will be able to fit, because a train will just have to sit and wait here for that to clear so that it can get through. It's on the wrong track as well. It needs to be on this track. So that will be making sure... This is going to be tricky. This is going to be really quite tricky, getting these trains going through. Now how much further could I push this? It's 267 yards from there to there, which means a 300-yard train, it will be very much sticking out. Okay, let's try and figure out the tightness on this side. That's probably as tight as I can make it. 280 yards. I could get a 280 yard train. It's not ideal. It'd be 260 really. I wanted longer than that. But in reality, a train parking here, waiting there to go, shouldn't be the biggest of issues. Yes, that should not be the biggest of issues. So let's go ahead and do that. And then make the corresponding... There we go, make that one. Obviously for that one... Oh, actually, I've sort of accidentally made that perfect. Okay. How long are you going to be waiting? You appear to be waiting for ages. This... I suppose I can now... We're not going to let the sheep loose. No, no, no. Sheep are not going to be let loose. Let's go ahead and do that. That one's moving now. It's not field, is it? It's... Oh, what's happened here? It's hedge. So we're going to go from here. Right, what's the difference again between this and arc? Still trying to work out how the arc works. Not entirely certain. I know I need to stop that train, but I'm going to deal with it in a moment. Right, where is it? There it is. Turn around. It should now be able to get into the correct marshalling yard, as it should be. Admittedly, it's on the wrong track, but that's fine. That shouldn't be an issue. Nothing else goes through this. Okay, so now I have this. I'm going to say it's 20 in, well, both directions, really. It is now 20 in that direction too. I've got the 40. Yep, that is working. So now what I should be able to do, in theory, this is where it gets a little bit more difficult. I should not have that many... I should not have that many trains coming and going for this. The only problem is that issue that we see right here. We've got two trains already here. This would cause a block. So what I need to do instead... Right, I'm going to have to work out how I'm going to do that. What I will do, though, is I'm going to... Are you going to pick up anything? Apparently 2. 3. I'm going to ensure that on this route, manage line, run around train, flip engines. Oh, I need to put a thing on the back of this, a brake fan. That's what I need to do. But then I cannot do the... I can do push, pull, flip engines. So it just makes it look like I've actually moved the whole train around. I'll do that. Which way should it be facing, really, if it's going in that direction? Do we want it to be pulling it? I think it needs to be... I think we're going to go... Leave that as global right now, or vanilla mode, whatever it is. I'll sort that out in a moment. I want this to manage line. I want you to... There you go. That. So it's going to sit here for a little bit. What do you mean you struggle? Oh, you haven't cleared the... Right. Got it. Just going to make sure that this train actually sits here. And then I'm going to do push-pull flip engines. But I do need this to clear. This has taken almost an entire episode, just sorting this one train out. Please tell me that works now. It does. Oh no, that is not what I wanted it to do. Okay, that's not what I wanted to do. No. I need it to be pulling all the time, so... I know I'm messing with this, but it's just going to be run around train for now, I guess. Go back. Yeah, see, that is what I wanted to do, but somehow I need to get... If I put a brake fan on this, I need to get the brake fan to flip around to the back. Not sure how I'm supposed to do that. Anyway, leave that as it is for now. Let's go ahead and set up the next line, which should be pretty much identical. So I'm going to set it up as... Let's do it as a lime green. That way we might be able to see it reasonably well. Also needs to go past this signal. There we go. And also needs to go over to here. And then on its return journey needs to go past this signal. Perfect. And that is going to be FRRA Stratford. Let's just call it Stratford, not goods, but mixed cargo. I'm thinking of combining this train to do a couple of things. I'm probably going to have to change the colour. And let's pick it up from... Where would I be able to pick it up from? Ah, yes, this is not viable. There's no way I can get this to... Oh, I can get it to just go through here over towards... Let's do that. So I'm going to pick it up from... Apparently I've got two trains sitting here. I'm going to pick it up from here. Let's see what happens. So steam. I want... Let's go for the newest ones. Build date. Other way. There we go. So we've got a couple of these. That's got 20... So the one I used was... I think I used these. No, it wasn't those. It's this. Those are the ones I used. So I've got two of them currently. If I were to use... What are these all about? Coal trains? Okay. These were for coal trains. They do 50. I guess I could use a single one of them. See what happens. That's worth me trying, I suppose. Let's do that. Let's do that, and then this is going to be... So what kind of stuff do I need on this? I need goods vans, which can take... Well, apparently I could get food. I could take food all in a single thing, but I want food, not plastic, just goods in that sense, and construction material. So let's take a bunch of those. We're looking for about 350-ish yards. We'll take some of those. A few of these bolster ones as well. Oh, let's take the large. No, they cannot carry construction material. Okay, fine. And then back it up with, at the back of this, we're going to put some of these. 311, just for the sake of it. What else can I put? Any of these do the trick? No. I think that is pretty much it. Yes, that is pretty much going to be it. So maybe another one of those. Okay. Let's purchase that. Oh, and try and put that brake van thing on it. Brake. I can never find this. So is it any cargo type? 1H, is that what it is? No. Brake. Okay. I think it's under... Every time I do this, I can never find it. Always go back. I think it's under passenger, but I'm not entirely certain where. It's not that. This isn't these. Could it be one of these? Hang on. Mail and express goods. Oh, I need to look at those mail wagons. No. I will find this. Because I often have to. Doesn't show up. It never shows up for some reason. It is 1H. I'm fairly sure of that. That's a third class brake. It's not that 1H. I think it doesn't have any, it's not a cargo type. That's probably why. There it is. There's the 1H. So it's awkward. It's a really awkward one. Let's pop that. So I've got the three options. I kind of like that one. I need a better one, but that will do. So let's go ahead and buy that and get that going on. See what happens. Stratford mixed cargo. Watch that. What does it say about this train anyway? Managed vehicle. Not that. Maintenance. No, not that. Apparently it's mediocre, so it's not going to be great when it's full, I suppose. But there it is. There's another train making its... Ooh, has a nice whistle. Making its debut. Debuting on... So how are you going to do this? Because you're heading directly towards another train. Oh, you're just going to go straight through it? And because it's in a depot it doesn't exist? Or what happens? Here's a test for... Nope, it's going across. Is this an opportunity for a thumbnail? Seeing those gasometers just gives this such a realistic look. I'll let that make its way through. Oh, there is a little bit of a jump there. Interesting. Anyway, so that's 2. We now have 2 successful routes. What I am going to do with this route, though, is, of course, open up every possible line for it, and ensure that this can only pick up. So this is the other thing that I need to do. Manage line. I need to make sure these things only pick up certain items. So from Berwick, you cannot unload anything, and you cannot pick up coal. In fact, I'm going to say you cannot pick up coal, or you can pick up coal apparently at the moment. That's not what I want to do. You're going to be picking up 1, 2, and I'll let you pick up food as well for a while whilst I try and figure out the food. There we go. So that is what that one is going to do, whilst the autosave works itself out. And this is quite an awkward junction for it to make its way through. That much is for certain. And for this one, whilst it's doing that, again, you cannot presently unload anything, and you cannot load anything other than coal for now. Right, how am I going to get a good screenshot of this? I think I've just answered my own question. The answer is like this. There it is. Now the great thing about this is it should, because it cannot actually get into there, I think it's just going to continue out this way. That's the theory. I'm thinking it's not going to go through there, it's just going to continue out this way and head directly to Berwick-upon-Tweed. Yep, there we go. So bypasses this in the entire section, which I do need to start putting. I think I haven't put the signage up for yet. Unfortunately, this is kind of a slow train, so it's going to take a while for it to get going, and it's probably going to cause some traffic, which is a little annoying. It's great, the back of the train hasn't even entered the tunnel, and the front of the train is long out of it. Oh, and apparently it's... oh no, we're going to get stuck very often, it seems. Oh, everything is stuck. Oh no. Oh dear. Why are things stuck? What is going on? What is going on? Why are things stuck? Okay, you were waiting for that. Why were you what did you want to do? Okay, I assume this wanted to go across somewhere. That's now waiting for this. This bit is going to need some work. So, yes, this bit is going to need some work. I think there was a comment about putting lines parallel to this. I might have to and run it through here. Run the freight through this side. Just to prevent any trouble that we're going to get through here. I do not mind it going through this platform on the way out, because it should be going at a fairly high speed. What speed are you doing? 50. You can only do 50. That's a problem. Although this thing is still picking up speed. There's only one of it after all. It does look decent. Let's have a look at where the other train is. One that should be on its way in. Is it you? It is. Why do you only have 6 coal? That's embarrassing. Why do you only have 6 coal? It is doing 55 miles per hour though. Still going through the tunnel. Sounds fairly realistic. does definitely sound fairly realistic. I could just imagine this now. So someone is standing where? Someone's just standing in this field right here. I honestly think this house should not be where it is. There we go. That is better. Someone standing in this field right here. Just perhaps watching the trains and a really weird see-through. There we go. It's coming to shot now. I was going to say a really weird see-through tree. Those chickens. Yeah, that's not bad. That is not bad at all. That works. That does work. I'm suitably impressed with that. And by the way, this is longer than the longest passenger train will ever be. So there is that. Interestingly enough, from this angle, I saw some chimneys. I think it was these ones right here. This looked very realistic. Just seeing the way these chimneys were, that's quite good. So, okay, so we've got that. Let me have a look now back at Berwick-upon-Tweed and see, Berwick-upon-Tweed, the marshalling yard. See what on earth is going on. Batley Mixed Goods, that's not the one I'm after, is it? It's that one. Stratford Coal, okay, 19. It's meh. It's not really happening, is it? It will get there. It will get there, I'm sure. I think it is probably... I think it is the sheer distance that it has to travel. That is quite a distance. So potentially what I could do is get a second train up on this. Let me do that. To end today's video, I'm going to get a second train up and running. And now I know how to find this. It is definitely 1H. So let's use... Come on, there we go. Mixed traffic engines. There we go. Let's use that mogul engine with... So we're going to do coal. We want coal to be transferred. What's the best option for coal transfer? That, I suppose. How fast can them... Yeah, that one... Actually, hang on a minute. That is 7 yards long. That is 7 yards long. This has the same capacity, but it's 9 yards long. So surely, the smarter option would be to do that. Maybe I'll just add a few of those just to make it look a little bit more realistic. Hang on, that's even shorter, isn't it? That's 6 yards long and carries more, of course. So let's say we're making the most of what we have. So back of the train, we're going to dump a few of those, get it to 325 yards, sure. And it's mediocre. It should be able to just about manage. So you are going to be going off on Stratford coal. There we go. And I suppose I could get one running from this depot. Get another one running from this depot, and that is going to be... Should you use another one of these, or 105 were built? I mean, that's quite a few. Those are too slow, although that's a really nice design now. No, I don't want to use those. I could use... Apparently these were used for suburban passenger routes. Okay, well, they're quite powerful. But I don't think I want to use that. Trying to find a train. Heavy freight use, here we go. Let's use one of these. See what that turns out to be like. And this is going to be for more of those mixed goods. So do that and a whole bunch of these. And it's not those bolsters, I keep getting that wrong. It is... Where is it? Oh, I forgot the brake wagon again. These. That's quite big. There we are. And then 1H. No, that's IH. 1H. All. That's how you find it. There's the brake wagon. 325. Yep, one of those will do. High maintenance. Off you go. And you are going on the Stratford mixed cargo. Okay, so we should get... I know it's a bit weird that, but the way I suppose it would be is the engine would come out of here and then it would pick up all the various different bits of cargo as all of these it would pick up. That is how I suppose it's supposed to work. Unfortunately it doesn't, but that's fine. Still reasonable. Do I already have one of these running? I'm not entirely certain. Lots of different variants of trains. That's another great view, or great look. That does now at this angle with this style. Oh, that's interesting. There we go. This angle, this style, this does look very much like a very British... There's a couple of things that are wrong here. I'm going to show you a couple of things that are wrong because I need to get rid of them. One is a palm tree there and one is a palm tree there. Where those palm trees come from, I do not know, but they are very, very annoying. So from this angle, as I was saying, this does look like a British yard. Good shadowing from the trees as well. So yes, that should be the end of this video. We have 2 of the 3, potentially all 3 running because the mixed goods here, there you go, look, mixed cargo, food and goods. Coal is starting to build up. I'm not sure why the coal is not building up quite as much as it should. Also, I do not want this showing, so I'm just going to press configure and change this to only connect. That gets rid of... It makes sure that things, you cannot see them. And this one, I'm actually going to let this one just continue on its way because I already have something coming in. And in fact, here comes some more bricks. So this is another thing that is going to have to be worked out. So obviously we've got 192 bricks on the way out, 648 coal that needs to be picked up, 322 sitting there. This bit is going to need to be worked out. I think I might swap these for overhead signals. Let's do that. I think I can swap these out fairly easily. Overhead, will it just allow me to replace? Yep. Replace existing. Replace existing. Replace existing. And replace existing. And then I can go ahead and put the gantry in. How do I put the gantry in? Is it that? No. Where is the... There it is. And that left and right, no, and 4 on the centre. And get that slotted in its correct location, which is apparently there. Seemingly. There we go. Okay, that's now an overhead gantry. That's nice. I suppose I could do the same for this, but I'm just going to leave this. Yes, I'm going to leave that as it is for now. Just giving it a bit, just giving it some changes, making things look a little bit nicer. I suppose it would be harder to see shunt signals down here. I know I have them. What are you waiting for? Who are you waiting for? Where are you going? Southern Freight. Why are you wandering around the entire map? What on earth? Okay, that one's gone for a Potter. Well, okay, fine. You're not an actual train, are you? No. You are blocking the route. So who on earth are you waiting for to get out of the way? You. And you're waiting for a free pass to Ollerton Cargo. Oh, this is a bit of a mess. It's fine, it's just cargo. This is a great thing. This is just cargo. In any case, I think that this is a good time to end this video. I am not sure why Stratford Coal... I just said manage line. You cannot... No, right, yeah. No, you cannot pick up any of this. You can only pick up... And you can unload coal. Oh, that's the problem. You can unload everything there. Load nothing. Okay, just realised I may have made a mistake here. You can unload everything. Load... No, you can unload nothing. Load that. You can unload everything, load nothing. Good. Okay, there we go. That should sort out whatever on earth this is that I'm trying to do. I still have no idea what this one's waiting for. Ollerton Cargo, what... Where's the problem? Where's the trouble here? Oh no. No, that's not where you want to go. You want to go up there. Which is the wrong side. Well, that's why you've got trouble there. You're trying to go on the wrong side. Manage line, Ollerton Cargo. Right. Down a Market Annex, I don't... Make sure you stay on the right side of the track. No? Is that not it? Oh, which bit do you want then? Fine. You know what? Just turn around and go somewhere else. Goodbye. Just go somewhere else. Because you're going to cause problems. Anyway, at that point, I think it's a good idea for me to end this video. Thank you very much for watching. Please remember to click on the like button if you like this video. Subscribe to the channel for more videos on Tron Sports Fever 2, the UK modded series. Leave a comment in the comments box below, letting me know what you think. Any suggestions you might have. Perhaps, what is the best way for me to get this particular setup running? Should I try and expand or rework this area to accommodate this, or should I perhaps try and twist this in further and have another line? So have this come out here and then twist in. That might be a possibility as well. I have no idea. Anyway, as I said, that is all from me. If you can do so, please do consider supporting me on Patreon. Link in the description box below, as are links to my social media and Discord server. Not much else left to say. Very busy yard here. Hopefully the other yard starts getting quite busy. This is starting to pick up, particularly with food. So that is really good. Very, very useful. We need to get food over. This is all working. Yes, this all picks up a reasonable amount as well. So that's good. That is all from me. And I will see you next time in Transport Fever 2, the UK modded series. I will have this running. And then, potentially next video, the plan is to start this bit. Who are you and where... Oh no, you're fine. Start this bit. Try to get a factory up here and get this this iron ore mine connected. Get it up to the factory. Get some coal in here. And ensure that we can make steel. So that is going to be perhaps the next 1 or 2 videos is going to be focused on that. That steel should then be able to get across eventually to here. Oh no, this requires tools. This makes machines. Okay, so I can get planks here, I can get fuel here. I need to find a tools factory. Right. Where, there's the question for all of you who have made it to the end. Here's the question. Where should I have the tools factory? So, Bracknell, Carnforth, Attleborough, West Brom, Macclesfield, Early, Barnstaple, West Mersey. Lichfield has a steel mill, so it cannot be there. Alford, Bentham, Berwick, which actually already has something, which does need rework as well. Downham, Ollerton, Maryport, Croydon, Batley. Actually, Croydon also has something, so perhaps not. So does Downham Market, has the entire goods manufacturing. Bridgenorth, Stratford, Chagford, Kingsbridge, Taunton. Possibilities there. Sudbury, also possibilities there, given that I've got this mess. Or anywhere else on the map, maybe in between somewhere. Like there, for example. Let me know. That is the question. Where should I put the tools factory so that we can get machines going? Yes, as I said, that is all from me. I'll see you next time.